Hi folks, my name is Marco. This is going to be my first video that I make about my cars or cars in general. Um, just got a new acquisition and this is going to be my first video. It's kind of going through what I bought and where it is, where it needs to be, and take it from there.
Ryan Little.
Okay, so here she is, 1992 Honda Acty. That's spelled A-C-T-Y. I guess it stands for activity. It's a JDM import, a right-hand drive. Basically, it's a Kei Car. For those of you not aware what a Kei Car is, that's spelled K-E-I. It is a city car, basically. It's a special car that's got some exemptions in Japan. And I think it's probably cheaper to register, easier to park, and it's used widely in large cities like Tokyo, for example. This is what they call a mini truck. Basically, it is a pickup truck, very versatile. It's got a lot of things that you would only see in larger trucks, but in a very small package. It's actually pretty cool. So let me tell you a little bit about this Honda Acty. Let me show you here what it looks like in the front. So it is all-wheel drive. It is this particular one is a 5-speed manual. It's got a 660 cubic inch, I'm sorry, I wish cubic inch, cubic centimeter motor. So pretty much smaller than a motorcycle, I guess, or a large motorcycle. But the engine is actually, it's a mid-engine layout. The engine's actually underneath that cover that you see there inside on the bed. It's got, I believe it's a 3-cylinder carbureted motor. It's got, this particular one's got air conditioning, which is also pretty cool. Let me show you the inside here. Very utilitarian. It's got wind-up windows. You can see these door cards are very faded, which is weird because the dashboard is actually pretty good condition. Instead of that dark gray, you can kind of see there when the dark gray goes to the light gray, or faded gray, I should say. The interior of this truck has a weird smell. It smells like power steering fluid or brake fluid or something like that. It's really pungent in there. I don't know if somebody spilled some in there or what it might be, but you can see the interior is kind of a little bit tatty. You got to understand this car is 25 years old, so there's going to be a lot of things that are not perfect nick. But here's your 5-speed transmission. It's the shifter. The interior has very simple layout. Got a radio. I'm sure, I don't know if that even works here in the US. I don't know if they use a different waveband in Japan. But you basically all got slider controls for the air conditioning, heat, ventilation. And then there's a button there. Looks like it's a rear light to light up the bed in the back. Whoever owned this car before chopped up some, looks like Nissan Cedric floor mats and made their own custom floor mats. Nissan Cedric is actually, I think, was sold in the US as an M45 and Infiniti, although I don't think the Cedric came with a V8. I don't know. I know the Infiniti did. So this is the passenger seat. It's actually it's almost like a jump seat, so you can lift that up or drop it down. Looks like if I lift it up, that's where the a tank for the windshield washer fluid is. Also looks like we have the jack down there. I have a couple of my tools down there. Very small, very tiny glove compartment. It's basically a slot. Wacky thing about this car that I had to get used to, or have to get used to, is the turn signals on the right. And the left stalk has the windshield wiper controls. That switch on the dashboard that controls that light, you could see on my car it's actually missing. I don't have the light, although looks like I do have 2 wires coming out of there where the light normally would be, so I think that'll be an easy thing to retrofit. There is the fuel tank, the filler cap. Fuel tank is actually not fully exposed, but you could definitely see it. Leaf spring suspension in the rear, and you got struts in the front. Like I said, the car is all-wheel drive, and it's a full-time all-wheel drive. So there's your rear diff and your front diff, and like I said, the motor is mounted midships. So that's one of the advantages to the Honda is I think the equivalent, Suzuki has an equivalent to this truck, and so does Toyota. I think on the Suzuki, the engine's actually underneath the seats, so it's in you're sitting on the motor, so it makes the cabin a lot louder and, or I should say noisier, and probably hot. This one, by having the engine on the outside, you don't get all that noise, and I'm sure there might be some smells too. The wheels are 12-inch wheels, I believe 4 by a 100 bolt pattern, and that's probably one of the first things I have to address is these tires are gone. They're pretty much dry rotted, the thread separating from the sidewall, so pretty dangerous condition, I would say, to keep these on the road the way they are. I'll walk around to the other side. Another modification I'm going to have to make is in Japan, even though the license plates are roughly the same size as the US license plates, the mounting holes are in a different, have different spacing. Here on this side, here's the spare. That is your coolant reservoir tank and your battery. That's the first thing I need to work on is this battery. It is pretty much dead. I could probably charge it enough to start the vehicle, but it won't hold a charge, like it'll be dead the next day. And I'm gonna have to get a new, oh no, I thought it was broken, but it looks like it just has some weird rubber coating that's peeling off. I probably could wire brush this down and put spray it with some rust converter, which I already did on some parts of the car. I could kind of see it here. If you see that purplish black, those drips, that's actually rust converter. It's a product from Eastwood Products. I gotta spray some here. Basically, there's some superficial rust, and what that does is actually chemically converts it to a paintable surface. So, as an example, things that look like that. See some of this surface rust? You spray it, and then it turns into that. See, it's like a purplish, looks like somebody spilled red wine on it or something. But then you could actually clean that up and paint it. Also did it on, I sprayed it on some of these screws that are hold down the engine cover, and you could see, looks like they turned black, purplish black color, and kind of gets it ready for paint. This is the, I have this off here. This is the cover for the battery. Basically just holds together with 2 wing nuts. Screws right into there and into there. And it has 2 clips. This one and that one clip onto here. Here I sprayed a lot of it because there was a lot of rust in the battery tray. And you could kind of see it completely turned it black and converted the rust into something that could be painted. I'm going to remove this battery. I think it's going to be hard to find a matching battery because weird thing I noticed, positive terminal, different diameter than the negative terminal. Never saw that before. So I guess that's so you don't mess up and connect the wrong terminals, but might make it hard to find a battery that works. But it is an AC Delco, so maybe I'll get lucky. So other feature that's pretty cool. I mean, look at the size of that bed. I mean, that's about as big a bed as you could get on the full-size pickup, or at least a mid-size pickup, and it's on a little tiny truck. The tailgate has these, they're pretty cool latches. They almost look like what you find on a Grolsch beer bottle. One on the left, one on the right. And the tailgate drops down all the way. And you could drive it with the tailgate down. Well, I guess not, because it would cover the taillights. So scratch that idea. However, I do see that if you remove this screw here, you could slide the whole tailgate out this way and remove it if you want to take the tailgate off. And then on the sides here, same thing. There's that set screw. You remove that screw, you could slide all the hinges off the pins and remove the sides. There's also another latch here. The sides drop down. And same thing on the other side. It's got a rollover bar. Actually pretty handy if you have to carry like 2x4s or any boards that you could actually put them this way and tie them down across that roll bar. Yeah, I mean, this thing is, wasn't looking for a project car. I was looking for a pickup that I could use to do some small errands, like typical homeowner stuff, going to Home Depot, picking up some 2x4s, things of that nature. And I came across this and I'm like, man, you know what, I don't have a lot of parking space left because of all the cars, and I'm like, this is perfect. I could pretty much park it anywhere because it's so tiny. It's still not registered here in Jersey. I'm waiting for my paperwork to come in. It is over 25 years old, so it's going to go be registered through the New Jersey. There's an exemption for cars 25 or older. And I believe it's a show and go exemption, but I'll talk more about that as I learn about it. So other thing about this is there is a radiator underneath or behind that bumper. So it is a front mount radiator. And my first thing with this is going to be to do general maintenance, oil changes, transmission change, or transmission fluid change, diff oil change, and then tires. But obviously first thing is going to be the battery, because without that can get anything to run. So I'll hopefully post more of these videos as I progress on the project. Thanks for watching.